G'day, my name is Canon and welcome back to NerdCulture Australia. We're going to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. I watched that today and it was a decent popcorn film. I got a bucket, I got a cup. Those are pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with my purchases of those. And the movie, I went to go watch dinosaurs eat people and I was not disappointed. So let's dive into it, shall we? Casting was okay. None of the actors really felt like they were playing their characters. They were just kind of there. The Jurassic series has fallen a very long way. Now, I haven't seen a lot of them. Like, I don't think I saw Dominion. I've watched the old ones, but I watched them well and truly after they'd come out in cinemas. I was like 8, 9 when Jurassic Park came out, and scary movies were not my thing. I mean, everyone goes, dinosaur movies aren't scary, they're dinosaur films. Have you seen Jurassic Park? The T-Rex is terrifying. Like, hands down, that is utterly scary. The music was good. We heard the Jurassic Park theme tune in the bits where it was appropriate. Most of the bits we were supposed to go, wow, that's cool. The cinematography was fine. Scenery was good. The plants looked planty. We didn't see a lot of dinosaurs. That was explained in the story. We'll get into that. The dinosaurs that we did see were both massive and scaly and dinosaur-like. And they ate people. So that was a plus. I'm not sure about one of the dinosaurs, but again, we'll get into that again. The storyline was meh. An interesting premise, just could have been executed a little bit better, and that might have had something to do with the acting and the delivery of the lines, but it just felt a bit flat. So, yeah, wrapped up in one film that, I mean, if it came on TV, which I don't watch free to air, so we'll never know, or if it came on a streaming service, I might watch it again, but I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to spend money on seeing it twice. It was okay. It was an okay film. I went to go see dinosaurs. I saw dinosaurs. There you go. So, on to the story bit. If you want to go see this film and don't want it spoiled, leave now, come back later. If you could not care and are not planning on seeing this anyway, or just want to hear me recite for memory the storyline, then now is your chance. We open up with Orlando Bloom being a corporate guy for a pharmaceutical company, carrying bad guy energy with him the entire way through, contacting and contracting Scarlett Johansson to do mercenary things and help him get into off-limit areas. Basically, the story is that what with all of the tragedies from the various attempts at theme parks based around dinosaurs, that has pretty well subsided into just monitoring the dinosaurs that are left. Dinosaurs are not nearly as prevalent as they used to be from previous films. That's why we don't see a lot of them in this film. I think you see maybe about 8 species total, both big ones and small ones. Basically, the story is that because the Earth has changed so much from when the dinosaurs were in their primus, that they can no longer survive in the Earth as it stands today, barring a small section of the Earth wrapped around the equator. And so that's where a majority of the dinosaurs live now, and that part of the globe basically has been declared off limits by all world governments. You know, it's patrolled by military vessels occasionally. They turn people back. They stop them from sailing in there because the waters are dangerous. Anyway, so she gathers her crew. They manage to extort a little bit more extra money out of him, and off they sail. We then hard cut to the Lincoln lawyer, his 2 daughters, and his eldest daughter's boyfriend on one final sailing trip between 2 points of the globe before she goes off to university. Dad is feeling nostalgic, basically. Wants to spend some time with his girls before one of them leaves for university. And she's going, I'm not going a world away, I'm only going to New York. And he's just like, yeah, when will you visit? Probably never. Anyway, they're on a sailing trip. They run afoul of the first dinosaur that we see, a Mosasaurus. Gigantic aquatic creature, likes playing with boats and tipping them over. He tips them over. They are then rescued by the first group of people, led by Scarlett Johansson and Orlando Bloom, where there is a bit of conflict about maybe dropping them off at an island before continuing the mission or just going with it. Orlando Bloom prevails. They keep going with it. They manage to get the first of 3 samples that they need. Quick aside, the samples they need to basically further some pharmaceutical studies, because they have figured out that certain dinosaurs of certain sizes have something in them that helps with various ailments that afflict humanity, like some heart diseases or whatever. And so the idea is that the bigger the dinosaur, the more of whatever this thing is they have, because their hearts are so huge. And so instead of harvesting it from dead dinosaurs, like hunting and killing and then harvesting the resources that they need, it's better that they get it from live dinosaurs, because reasons. They need a sample from a land species, a sample from a species that swims, and a sample from a species that flies. Hence the focus on the Mosasaurus, the Titanosaurus, real creative, and the Quetzalcoatl something Saurus. I don't know names and words, alright? English is hard enough as it is without people making shit up. So, they get the first sample from the Mosasaurus, and then they fall afoul of the Mosasaurus and its hunting pack of Spinosauruses, I think. There you go. See? 2 dinosaurs already. We do see, I think, a Brachiosaurus or a Brontosaurus or something earlier on in the film, but it's classified as old and blind and needing a decent amount of medical care before, you know, things go horribly wrong for it. But so that's 3 then. They run afoul of the Mosasaurus. They lose 2, I think, 2 crew members. Yes, they lose 2 crew members. One is their security operative. Is played by an actor who is renowned for playing less than wholesome characters, and a younger girl who is, I believe, their comms or their navigation specialist. They make an effort at kind of hiding these 2 deaths behind stuff. Like, she gets eaten behind a bag and he gets basically ripped off the boat before getting munched. After this, they just completely give up with that, and it's just, hey, look, the dinosaur ate someone in front of everybody. When it's during this falling afoul of the Mosasaurus on Scarlett Johansson's boat, that Orlando Bloom starts showing his bad guy side, allowing the eldest of the daughters to fall off the ship. At which point, the other 3 in that particular group jump off because they realize that it's about to crash, and then it crashes, lo and behold. Anyway, everyone kind of scrambles inland. They are going for a village that is powered by geothermal energy. Basically, the remnants of one of the cloning and crossbreeding facilities that were prevalent on one of the islands from the previous films and early. So that their goal is basically to go there, find a place for a helicopter to land, and then get picked up. So the 2 groups have split. They're finding stuff. For the most part, Lincoln Lawyer, his 2 daughters, and the boyfriend are basically all about just surviving and getting from point A to point B without getting eaten or upsetting whatever's going on. Along their road, they meet the T-Rex. It is fat, happy, and enjoying its retirement, so to speak. It still tries to eat them, but it doesn't really put that much effort into it. But they see some things. They see some nice stuff. The little girl picks up a pet along the way. It survives the entire film. Merchandising. Yay. The other group was Scarlett Johansson and the rest. They managed to get the next 2 samples. The flying one was not without some difficulty. They do lose another crew member. I believe it's the cook. He gets eaten. You see a leg hanging out of a dinosaur mouth at one point. The Doctor has a moment with the Titanosauruses. They are huge. It's a little awe-inspiring. I will that particular part with the Titanosauruses is a little awe-inspiring. They are huge, but also gentle, and I would say cleverly animated. I was like, wow. Yeah, I had a wow moment. But they get the next 2 samples, and then they all convene at the village, inverted commas, where they fall afoul of another flying type dinosaur with, instead of a beak, it's got serrated teeth. At which point Orlando Bloom goes full bad guy and pulls a gun on everybody, saying, I'm going to take the samples and we're going to wait for the helicopter. Which I think may have at least suspected that he would be fully intending to leave them behind, having all of them outlive their usefulness and obviously wanting to save a bag of cash by not having to pay Scarlett Johansson and her crew. This does not work out so well. Of course, falling afoul of the flying type dinosaurs, Orlando Bloom takes a car and splits while the rest of them dive for cover, finding refuge in the sewer. ScarJo manages to get a hold of the gun at some point and uses that to defend the rest of them against these flying dinosaurs. They also awaken the D-Rex, which sounds like the punchline for a terrible dick joke. I'll let you figure out how to do that. And so Orlando Bloom, bad guy, meets his end in the mouth of a dinosaur. No, there is no T-Rex coming in to save them at the end. They just escape. And so the movie ends with them sailing off into the sunset, having decided to share these samples with the globe instead of just the one pharmaceutical company that will stand to make a bag. The end. Let me know what you think. My name's Ken Afota. This is NerdCulture Australia. I watch Jurassic World. Thank you for watching. If you like what you heard, then please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.